Hi, everybody. Today I'll be sharing a yoga class with you that's focused on forward folds and opening up and strengthening the hips, hamstring, and back. So, without further ado, let's begin.
Find your way on your back and put your hands on your knees. As you exhale, draw your knees into your chest and bend your elbows. As you inhale, straighten your arms and move the knees away from your chest. Repeat this motion, moving with your breath, 5 times. Next, while still on the ground, go ahead and grab your big toes with your index finger and middle finger, or you can grab the sides of your feet with all your fingers. And go ahead and roll from side to side, releasing the lower back. Happy baby. You'll do this exercise for about 30 seconds to a minute. From here, place both feet on the ground and then grab the back of one leg. As you inhale, extend the foot up into the air. As you exhale, draw the knee into the chest. Do this 5 times on each side. Next, bring your arms to your sides and your knees to your chest. As you inhale, draw your arms overhead and extend the feet to the ceiling. As you exhale, bring the knees into the chest and bring the arms back down to the sides. You'll continue this motion 5 times. Breathe slowly, breathe fluidly, and move with your breath. Next, we're going to come into a static twist. So bring one knee into your chest, squeeze it in, and then twist to the opposite side of the knee. You're going to stay in this twist for 5 breaths and then switch sides. If this position is too uncomfortable, you can place a bolster or a cushion under the leg of the twisted knee to give you more support. You can also place a pillow or cushion under your shoulder if your shoulder is too elevated. Hold this position for 5 to 7 breaths on each side. Next, lay down flat on the ground and place your hands under your buttocks, palms down. Next, with a nice firm abdomen, lift your feet up with your toes pointing towards your body. Make sure that your lower back doesn't arch and that it stays on the ground. Breathe here for 5 to 10 breaths. Great job hanging in on the last exercise. Now we're going to decompress the back by squeezing the knees into the chest and rolling from side to side. You're going to do this for about 30 seconds to 45 seconds. Next, find your way onto your hands and knees to where your wrists are directly under your shoulders and your knees are directly under your hips. As you exhale, sit back into child's pose, and as you inhale, come back to your hands and knees. You're going to repeat this movement for 5 to 7 breaths. From here, come back into that neutral hands and knees position, and as you inhale, come into cow position, and as you exhale, come into cat. So that means as you inhale, the belly drops, the tailbone lifts up, the head lifts up, shoulder blades come together. As you exhale, the navel comes to the spine, your back rounds, tailbone drops, chin comes to the chest, and shoulder blades come apart. You're going to do the cat-cow sequence 5 times. Make sure to move with your breath. Start again in the neutral hands and knees position, and as you exhale, sit back into child's pose. As you inhale, come back onto your hands and knees, and as you exhale this time, come into down dog. You're going to repeat this motion 5 times. Move slowly, mindfully, and with your breath. Find your way into a standing position, and bring your feet 2 fist distance apart. We'll get ready to do some standing forward folds. As you inhale, bring your arms overhead, and as you exhale, bend your knees, bring your chest to your thighs, drop your head and lift your tailbone up. You're going to repeat this motion 5 times, moving in a slow, smooth, and relaxed fashion. Next, come into a halfway position, and as you inhale, extend your arms overhead. As you exhale, bend your elbows and bring your arms to your sides. You're going to continue this motion for 5 breaths. For an added challenge, you can try to hold your arms extended forward for a few breaths afterwards. From here, come into a forward fold. Drop your head and relax your shoulders and neck. Relax deeply and feel gravity helping you go deeper into this posture. You're going to hold this position for 30 seconds to a minute.
Next, you're going to bring your feet out wide and bend one knee at a time. You're trying to get a nice stretch in the hips and the medial hamstring complex. Go only as deep as you feel comfortable, but as you start opening up a little bit more in the hips and in the legs, you can try coming completely to one side and lifting the toes up as you come down. You're going to do 5 to 10 repetitions on each side. Next, you're going to keep your feet out wide and bring your head down. You're going to keep your wrist in alignment with your shoulders and relax your neck, shoulders, and jaw. Stay in this position for 5 breaths. And when you're done taking your 5 breaths, you're going to move over to your right side and try to grab either your right foot or right ankle. Stay in this position for 5 breaths and then move over to the left side. Next, you're going to stay in this wide-legged position and come down halfway. As you inhale, extend your arms forward, and as you exhale, bend your elbows and bring your arms to your sides. You're going to do this motion for 5 breaths. From here, we're going to come into a sequence we did earlier in the class, where you're going to start on your hands and knees, and as you exhale, you'll come into child's pose. On your next inhale, you'll come back onto your hands and knees, and this time as you exhale, you'll come into down dog. You're going to repeat this motion 5 times. Next, come into a standing position and lift your right knee up. Try staying in this position to work on your balance. If you're looking for a little bit more of a challenge, you can try grabbing the lifted foot and extending your heel forward, coming into a standing one-legged forward fold. Go only as far as you feel comfortable as to not compromise your balance or stability. You'll be here for 30 seconds to a minute on each side. From here, come onto the floor and extend your left leg forward and bend your right knee in. As you inhale, bring your arms overhead, and as you exhale, fold forward. Notice how I didn't start off with my leg extended. I started with my knee a little bit bent. That's because I want to make sure my chest and thigh are connected through this entire range of motion. So even if you aren't able to grab your toes with the extended leg, you can try bending your knee and then grabbing your foot. You're going to stay in this position for 5 breaths, and then you'll switch sides, and you do the same thing on the right leg. From here, we're going to come onto our feet and into a squat. Bring your knees out as wide as possible and try to sit down with a straight back. Stay here for 5 breaths. Next, you're going to come into a lazy forward fold. So that means you're going to bend your knees, bring your chest to your thighs, and drop your head, shoulders, and arms. There's not too much engagement happening here, but rather you're cooling down and preparing for the end of the class. It can also be nice here to roll your head from side to side to release any tension in the shoulders and neck. You're going to stay in this position for 30 seconds to a minute. Finally, come onto your back, give your knees a nice squeeze in, and then go ahead and extend out into Shavasana. You can stay here as long as you like. Thank you for joining me for this class. Please feel free to subscribe for more content like this. Have a wonderful day.